Hey guys, so it's finally time to go ahead and do this video. iPhone 5, why it sucks. So I've been waiting a few weeks now before I have used the iPhone 5 now for a few weeks. So I feel that I'm mature enough to do a video like this where I can talk about the things I think that still sucks with the iPhone. Yes, and I've been an iPhone 4S user and iPod user and all those good things. So I feel that I'm very, very mature to do this video right effing now. So let's just quickly cover the three big things with the new iPhone, the new magical iPhone. The three big things, the three big new things was it was thinner, it was lighter, and had a little bigger display. Okay, so that's about it. That's about it. That's kind of the new cool and interesting things that you will discover if you buy a new iPhone. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about why it sucks. So okay, I like big displays. Okay, I like big ass smartphones. So you would expect me to like a bigger iPhone, okay, because it has a little bigger display. The thing is that I didn't use my iPhone 4S as a smartphone. I already had a big smartphone, a very, very big smartphone, 4.8 inch, a Galaxy S3 that I've been using now for 6 months. Before that, I used an even bigger smartphone. Now I'm back to a even bigger smartphone, a 5.5 inch Galaxy Note 2. So I like really, really big stuff. So I used my iPhone 4S and also my iPod Touch 4th generation. Before I smashed my iPod Touch 4th generation, I used that one as my main MP3 player. But then when I accidentally smashed the screen on my iPod Touch 4th generation, then I basically started to use my iPhone 4S as an MP3 player. And it was pretty sweet. Not as sweet as the iPod Touch 4th generation because that one has like a better form factor for that. But it's a nice form factor. I use my iPhone basically like an MP3 player, and an MP3 player doesn't have to have a big display. A smartphone for a serious smartphone user want a big display because they browse, they play games, they watch movies, they all do all of these kinds of power user things on their smartphone. But I only use my iPhone as an MP3 player, and with an MP3 player you only need like play, pause, and those kind of nice ass buttons, and then it's good with a very, very small device. Now Apple of course made the display bigger, so I still think that the iPhone 4S feels better in the hand, because I only used the iPhone as an MP3 player, so it was basically a step down for me that they made the display a little bigger, because that makes it a little bit harder to hold it in the hand. Because I like those big, it's kind of like small displays on MP3 players. So yeah, that's one thing. There was this little bit step down there for me. And then also one very, very big thing here is that iOS 6 is not as smooth as the latest version of Android. Okay, when I do it like this, it feels better now on my Android device. So Android basically is now they are becoming better, even at these things that the hardcore Apple fanboys always have been saying that they are better at, the smoothness. But now they aren't even good at that. Or I mean, Android, they're still good at it, but Android is now passing that. Jelly Bean is so more smooth. Now let's talk about another big thing. The small battery. It only I'm pretty sure they didn't update the battery from the iPhone 4S. And also the iPhone 4, they probably used only optimized software, so it's still only like 1,400 milliamps in battery, and you can really feel that. And compared to my Galaxy Note 2, my main smartphone that has 3,100 milliamps, and they cost the same price to buy, that you get twice the milliamps. That is like it's a joke. 1,400 milliamp versus 3,100 milliamps. It really is a joke. So let's go ahead and continue. No extra memory card. You can still. This is not something that I use in my Galaxy Note 2 because I don't have that many games and stuff like that. But now when we are coming into a kind of phase where games become really big in the App Store, like there could be a few gigs in size, you really would love to have an extra memory card, but you can't. Once you buy the 16 gigabyte variant, you can't get more. You have to uninstall apps and stuff like that, or you have to buy even more expensive iPhone. And then we also have another big thing, can't remove battery. Let's say your phone gets water damage or whatever. I made basically a Galaxy S3 versus my iPhone 4S once, a water test. And, I did take out the Galaxy S3 battery immediately after I made that test. But I couldn't do the same thing with the iPhone because you can't take out the battery. I mean, like, you can take out the battery now, but then you have to, unmount screws and stuff like that. And you really shouldn't have to do that, just to take out the battery. You said if your phone gets water damage, you are kind of, it's not so good than having an iPhone. And also, it's good to have an extra battery. Something that I feel like, when I go away with, let's say, my Galaxy Note 2, I can just buy a spare battery, so I can put that in, when the battery is out and stuff like that. So it's very, very good to have like that if you're going on a trip or something, but you can't do that with the iPhone. And also here, still no full software control. You still can't have widgets on the iPhone. And trust me, I'm not a huge, massive widget user. And okay, sure, you can have some widgets over here, but I'm not a massive widget user. But there are some extremely useful widgets out there. Like I use one widget right now in my Galaxy Note 2. It's a Spotify widget that I can have on the home screen to change the songs that I'm playing on my iMac. And it's so easy just to have it on the home screen. But the thing is that I wouldn't be able to have that on the iPhone because you can't have like widgets, or then you have to jailbreak, but I'm going to talk about that pretty soon. But let's say I think you can have widgets some way over here, but then you have to first swipe down and then you have to use it. On Android you can already start to use the widget because it's already there, so I can already change the song. And also use another widget to use turn off or turn on help light when I need to use the light when it's dark somewhere. Also a widget for that on my Galaxy Note 2. So that's also awesome. That's also pretty sweet. It's just one tap and then it's on. You can't like do that on the iPhone. It's just annoying. Okay, it's very, very, very annoying. Okay, so then we also have some other small things that you still have to like input the password like all the effing time when you're in the App Store to download apps, and they say that, oh, this is only so your kids can't download apps. Like, what the fuck? Let's say I don't have any kids. Let's say I don't want to type in the password all the effing time when I'm going to download an app. It's very, very annoying. I never have to do that with my Google Android smartphone device, The passwords are already there because I've already signed into my Google account. So it's just one tap away to download and all those things. So I want more control there. I definitely want more control. And yes, I'm going to mention it pretty quick. Jailbreak. Yes, you can kind of jailbreak it and do all these kinds of tweaks and stuff. But the thing is that there is rarely a jailbreak out for a latest version of iOS. So you always have to like do this kind of waiting thing. You have to like wait until it's gonna come, and then it may not be there, and everyone's like waiting. Sometimes you have to wait for months for a jailbreak to come out to the latest version of iOS. So that's something that's very annoying. And also one of the very bad things with jailbreak is that once you do that jailbreak, Apple won't help you if you F up your device. And your device could go bananas if you start to jailbreak it. You see install a few tweaks. I did that on my iPhone 4S, and it started to acting weird immediately. And even though that jailbreak was supposed to be like stable and all those things, it was still like I got a lot of bugs and weird things with my iPhone. So just if you want to do some very, very small tweaking stuff like that, you have to like go jailbreak. And if you just bought an iPhone and it's the latest version of iOS, you probably can't have a jailbreak right now. And then you have these kind of two versions of jailbreak that's coming out. One is like tethered, and that basically means that every time your iPhone runs out of battery, you can't like start your iPhone without having like a computer with you. And that's also like awkward and weird, and it's a huge stress thing to do those things and you really have to be into this. You have to be like a hardcore geek, always stay up to date with this kind of jailbreak stress. With Android, you just download an app, and if you want to have another live wallpaper or another lock screen, you can just download it as an app. That's how it's supposed to work, you know. It's very, very easy. And then I'm just gonna quickly cover one very extremely annoying thing here, and that is the boring iOS updates. A lot of people has also been complaining about this, and I also have heard about a lot of friends that's been updated to the latest version of iOS, that's iOS 6 at the moment, that they have been having problem with it, and that the update is boring. You know, it's boring, you know. So yeah, quick video here why it sucks, and some things that I still get annoyed by. And I really think that they should try to add more customizations like widgets and stuff, because this kind of grid of icons, it's getting really boring. And this kind of glitch that they still have when you turn on the iPhone for the first time, or you know, always when you turn on the iPhone and go to this to the spotlight search, you always get that kind of glitch where it locks up, and it's just awkward. So yeah, quick little why it sucks video about the iPhone 5. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You just have an awesome day right now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Yeah, bye bye.